They call me the Doctor.
Greetings, humans, Daleks, whatever. Again, we are back for another emergency podcast. Even though you will notice that if you watched our last one, our discussing the return of David Tennant and Catherine Tate, you'll go, oh, they are suspiciously in the same clothes. Yes, because we recorded that this morning. And then what happened this morning was we recorded a nice little podcast theorising over the return of David Tennant and Catherine Tate.
Why are they back? Is it going to be alternate universe? Is it going to... All of these questions very much based on just the fact they're coming back. Nothing else.
Plenty of theories.
Plenty.
Got home, opened Twitter. They're filming. And went, for God's sake, this just goes, this now, a conversation I had an hour ago is now immediately out of date. So
and you're thinking, God, why would set photos make stuff out of date? Because what it does is it gives us other questions and gives us other things.
And then, I was thinking, okay, we'll probably update another podcast when we get some other news, like some concrete news. And then they go and announce a new guest star. So what happened was it was announced and we immediately left our homes and came back to the studio to cover this again for a third emergency podcast, which these will all come out in really rapid succession.
I sat down and then stood back up and walked back here. I mean, I'm getting my exercise in, which is nice, but like today has been a day of a lot of news and a lot to talk about, and yeah, we're just going to follow on from our David Tennant
from where we were. Yes,
discussion.
So I'm going to begin with the big news at hand, which I'd say we can kind of cover now, which is that they've announced a new guest star.
They have. We don't know we know the name of the character they're playing, but we do not know who this is and how important of a role they are going to have.
Depends if we believe the leak, which we will come on to shortly.
Okay. Well, officially,
we don't know who this person is.
Yes.
It is unknown whether they're going to be a companion or just a guest star. But what's quite interesting is I was reminded of this by Daniel and the group chat, which is that a while ago on a podcast, I don't remember which podcast it was, but we covered that there was a casting announcement, a casting call put out. And we were going, oh, let's read this casting call. It's for a black trans actor who is called Lily, I think it was called, and it could be in this, and we're reading on
No, but that would make sense. Lily Rose. Fuck's sake.
And then we're reading on this going, I wonder what this means. Oh, they're just a guest star. Who knows? And then they make this huge announcement. It's Rose, and we're going, oh. And then I'm going, oh, whatever. And then someone went, yeah, it's that casting call. I went, for God's sake, I literally covered this. And it's like, it's just so many things that we've talked about are now coming into fruition. It's just crazy. So yeah, officially, let's talk about what we know officially, then we'll come on to some other things. So Rose is played by Yasmin Finney.
Yeah.
Who is an actor from Heartstopper.
Which is very current.
Which is extremely current because that's still trending now and extremely popular. I have not seen it yet, but I will. I'm wanting to watch it with my boyfriend and he is refusing to watch it. So we will get around to it. Now that she will be in Doctor Who, I will probably go rogue and watch it on my own.
Jake, do you hear this? You're going to be watching it right now with Aiden. Come here.
And basically all they've told us thus far is the following. We'll do the same as we do with the David Tennant episode. I shall read the official statements first and then what Russell has added on to that. So Yasmin has said, if anyone would have told 8-year-old Yasmin that one day she'd be part of this iconic show, I would never have in a million years believed them. This show has a place in so many people's hearts, so to be seen as a trans actress by the legend himself, Russell, has not only made my year, it's made my life. I cannot wait to begin this journey and for you all to see how Rose blossoms. Get ready.
Actually got me quite emotional. That's genuinely very sweet.
I like how it's quite a similar statement to what Shooty said, in that I was a fan growing up. If you had told me that I'd be in it now, that'd be insane. I cannot wait.
Fuck off.
I cannot wait to get involved. Russell then said, life on Doctor Who gets brighter and wilder. How can there be another Rose? You'll find out in 2023, but it's an absolute joy to welcome Yasmin to the Doctor Who set. We all fell in love with her in Heartstopper, one of those shows which changes the world, and now Yasmin can change the Whoniverse.
Whoniverse.
He then added on Instagram, Welcome to the Whoniverse, Yasmin Finney, the star of the wonderful Heartstopper. Heartstopper on Netflix.
He struggles to read.
Joins us, well, he put Heartstopper at Netflix. I thought, what do you want me to say? Joins us for the 60th anniversary shoot, playing Rose. Another Rose? But how? Who? Why? Where? What? Then he added, that's it for now, folks. I know, wouldn't it be lovely to keep this quiet and surprise you all on TV, but we can't. Not when we're filming outdoors in London, so instead of spoilers, we have to own it instead. But now, silence! And Jodie's epic finale has kept secrets a million times better than us. Just you wait.
Not me getting emotional over the fact he used 3 watts.
Yes.
God.
Come on to that as well shortly. But this is extremely down the same vein as Shooty Gatwa.
Very much so, if not kind of more so because of how current
more
it
so.
is.
Like we were saying in our Shooty Gatwa one, which you hopefully have heard by now.
We hope so.
Because I was editing it before I left the house.
It's in a mangled state.
It will be released like as soon, rather usually when I do these, when I edit it, then I schedule it for release. I'm just going to go post and
Just
it's
fire it
gonna,
out of the
it's going to
cannon.
go up immediately.
Fresh.
Which I will do for all of these emergency broadcasts. I don't know how many there's going to be. There's 3 currently. I feel like there's going to be more.
That's gonna
We were saying in that one that the thing is with this one, I can't comment too much on how well they are as a performer or anything because I've not seen them in action. So I can't comment on any of that. And because it's only announced an hour ago, I haven't been able to see any clips or anything like that right now. But what I can say from it, looking at it perspective of bringing in people, we were saying in a Shooty one that they are aiming this at Gen Z. This is Doctor Who for us. This is Doctor Who for the people that were children when Doctor Who came back. In the way that when New Who was aimed at the children of Classic Who, New Who is aimed at the children of New Who. That's very much what they are doing here. And by having someone from Sex Education, that's being like, you all know this person, you're going to love this. Having somebody from Heartstopper, which, like I said, is trending still now. Not like Sex Education, which has been around for a few years. And yes, when the last series came out, it was everywhere. But you don't really see anything about it right now. Whereas Heartstopper is happening now.
Yeah.
My TikTok is full of it still. People, are you a Charlie or a Nick? I've not even seen the bloody series, and I know all these things. Are you more Charlie or are you more Nick? I've had bloody
Who the fuck's Charlie and who's Nick?
They're the main characters. I've had people come up to me and go, are you more Charlie or are you more Nick? And I go, I don't know because my boyfriend is refusing to watch it.
How many episodes are there?
It's like 6 of 20 minutes or something. It's the
that.
most ridiculously short thing. And I'm going, just watch it, man.
I could power through that in like a night.
You can do that in a day.
Like even an evening, I could do that when I get back tonight, for fuck's sake.
I'm probably going
If I
to.
might do it. Oh my god, should we watch it together?
And just stop crying. Yeah, so this is just, like I said, I can't comment too much on her acting capabilities or anything like that.
But
though,
what I
although
can
I'm sure
say-
she's going to be
exactly.
amazing.
From what we know from obviously Shooty's audition and casted because he blew them away.
Yeah,
So I don't doubt.
that this is going to be an incredible actor.
Yes, Yasmin would have been casted for the same reason. So I'm just expecting great things from this, to be honest. And it's current. It's gonna they're gonna play the roles beautifully, and I can't wait. Like it's so exciting, and it's just great and like new and like fucking just it's setting a great precedent as well for kind of here on out for kind of new shows and that kind of thing. It's a hell like it's new Who, and I can't fucking wait at all. But it's also old Who as well in a way. Because the Tennant coming back, it's like, what's happening? Like I'm like so excited.
My brain is so frazzled today; it's ridiculous. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what year it is.
I took a break in the middle to do some work, and that lasted about half an hour, and now I'm like back on Doctor Who.
Yeah. Also, the thing I was going to say as well is that I've forgotten.
You can do it. Casting, auditions, why they were casted.
The other thing as well is that when Shooty was announced and we all scoured to his Instagram to look for clues, there's a photo of him and Yasmin from February. And we all looked at that and went, aren't his clothes great? He'd be a great doctor. It's like, yeah, look at the other person in the picture. The other person. Oh, hi.
We'd be shit detectives.
Like nobody ever picked that up at all.
It's like seeing a murder suspect.
Like we know that Shooty has known since February. There's a photo of him with Yasmin from February, and nobody's gone, everyone's just glanced past
Ah,
this.
it's a nice picture.
It's just it's been under our nose for however, but what, a week or two that it's been since Shooty was announced.
Been on your nose since February though.
Yeah. Anybody that's a Doctor Who fan that has followed Shooty is going to be like, nice little post. That's your future Doctor and potential companion
Right,
or
nice.
guest star.
Like, scroll, check the comments maybe.
Yeah. I think it will just be a guest star because that's what the casting call said.
Yes, the casting call said that, so it is like.
I think if it was the companion, it'd be announced as companion.
Yes.
But yeah, because they're so major, it could be a testing the waters kind of thing. It could be
I guess become companion.
a Donna situation.
Mm,
They're in it. They do. Everyone loves them. They come back.
Mm.
That is, I would say,
That'd be quite like poetic as well. Donna comes back, and then you have
yeah. I would say that that is a potential.
anything's possible. Honestly,
Yeah, definitely.
my
Now-
money's on definitely guests because that's what it says. But we will see. We shall see.
Yes. What I shall do now
Is
I'm going to
you
give a
gonna hit me?
spoiler warning
woo, woo,
for
woo,
people
woo.
that do not want this confirmed or denied or speculated.
On the off chance this is correct, it could possibly be a huge spoiler.
Yes, I will put a timestamp in the description. Click that timestamp, and
Skip
you
ahead.
will skip this discussion to us just talking about the filming, which we'll try and not mention it. So this is going to be contained to purely alleged leak.
We're going to spoiler territory.
Yes. Now,
Auga,
what is
auga,
interesting about
ooh.
this
Mhm.
is that in the time we were away doing our final projects and, getting ready to come back to the podcast, I was accumulating news and I saw this thing and I read it and I thought it was so fan fiction-y that I thought there is no way this is possibly going to be true. So I just disregarded it.
Mm.
But now with the filming stuff we've seen today and this announcement, it seems to be true.
Okay.
So I'm now thinking, okay,
Let's have a good
Here
look at
we
this.
go.
leak.
So-
Okay.
I think this is from Reddit. I don't really.
Just show me the screen.
Yeah, this is from Reddit. And basically somebody said, a friend of mine works at Bad Wolf. And this is the kind of thing when I read that and I go, oh yeah.
That's a classic kind of.
I know Kevin Feige. Do you know what I mean? It's
My
that
mum
kind of
works
thing.
at Xbox and she's going to have your account banned.
It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So somebody said, this is why I was reading it going, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, no way. And it was, a friend of mine works at Bad Wolf and has let slip some details about the upcoming 60th anniversary plans. This is all 100% accurate, so if you want to avoid spoilers, don't click below. So I read that, I went, bullshit. You know what I mean? And then I read it.
Hey, never the pessimist.
Yeah, because that, like, somebody that works at Bad Wolf, what, they're going to go, oh, I'm just going to tell you all the details. No. People
I
are
mean,
gonna,
you would.
people
though.
are gonna
like
have
if we
more
were both working. If you were working on Bad Wolf, you'd tell me everything.
But I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't go blabbing to the internet, though. That's
No,
what I
that'd be
mean.
a bad idea. I mean, that's a really bad idea. Honestly.
So then the thing that follows is David Tennant and Catherine Tate are back for 3 specials after Jodie regenerates into him on a cliff top. The 3 stories are linked by the Doctor working out why he has got his old face back and why he runs into Donna again after all these years. UNIT are back for the first episode. It's a simple alien invasion story, but with the main emphasis on the Doctor reuniting with Donna again after 15 years for her. Sylvia and Sean return. Wilf returns, but Wilf is mentioned, but I don't know if he appears because Bernard Cribbins is 93. Donna also has a daughter called Rose. Rachel Talalay is directing.
That's quite accurate.
And then it adds, and a classic companion returns in the final special, but I don't want to ruin that surprise. That's all I know for certain at the moment, but I imagine something will be announced in the next week or 2 as filming begins. Now, that is uncanny to what we have seen today.
That is like bang on.
That is what we
Everything
have seen.
word for word. Rachel Talalay, that's quite a specific one.
That's a specific one. The other one that I thought was as specific was Rose.
Very specific.
And the reason why I was like holding out on this was because that casting call said Lily.
Mm.
So I was like going, if this was crap, they'd go, Donna also has a daughter called Lily. Because they'd go, I just got that from the casting call. The fact they said Rose, and they have now announced that there is a Rose, that is too specific to be false.
That's very exciting. I like how that's very much... That's a spoilery thing, but it's very much kind of like a nice synopsis of it. It's like that doesn't tell me the story. It tells me the blurb.
Mm.
That's a very interesting story, and that's a very self-contained thing. Like, there's no Matt Smith there. There's no Capaldi. That's very focused on.
That's the
Tennant.
thing that I like. I'm mixed on this idea.
Mm.
I like a lot of elements of it. Things I don't like are David Tennant coming back, but it's not the 10th Doctor.
Okay.
And the thing I don't like is this doesn't seem to have room for other Doctors to come back.
But if it's a 3-part special, what if it's three 3-parts there? Bethel.
3 parts Bethel.
I struggled.
Not as this sounds. It
Mm.
sounds like it's just 3 episodes about David Tennant and Catherine Tate.
Mm.
And I've said, it's an anniversary special. I need a multi-Doctor. That's what I want. I need it. And I want Capaldi back.
It does. It sounds like a brilliant idea for Doctor Who episodes. But as the 60th special, is it a bit too small scale?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Mm.
It's very focused on
Dr. Donna.
the Russell T Davies era
Yeah.
as well. It's like, this is 60th anniversary. You should be celebrating all of Doctor Who. All of Doctor Who. Not just
It's a surefire way to
the
get
Russell
people
T
back,
Davies
though.
era.
Mm.
Yeah, but also it's like, can you not do that in other ways?
Mm.
Can you not be like reintroducing elements that are familiar to people and like, oh, I liked that before, I'll do that again, rather than literally just being like, this is just a epilogue to series 4.
Mm.
It's like, is that it? That's kind of how I feel. I feel a bit like, oh, is that it? Great.
Oh,
It's great seeing these filming photos of David Tennant. It's great
I
film.
love his new outfit, and it makes sense for him to have a slightly different outfit then.
We'll come on to that when we do it. Try and strip some spoilers away, but it's an idea that is interesting.
Yeah, it's
Can
very
it
interesting.
sustain 3 specials?
I think so. Like, I think
How do you sustain 3 specials with that story?
I feel like there's more to it than just that.
Almost definitely, but the reason I'm concerned is those 2 things. I want David Tennant to be back as the 10th Doctor, and I want to
I
see
think you need to kind of let
back.
that go, though, because I don't think that's going to be happening.
Probably not, which is disappointing.
It is a little bit, but also think of it like this: it's not to say it's not the 10th Doctor again. It is going to be his
But
face.
it isn't, though.
No, but it is
It
his
is his
personality and
It's his
but it'll be
face
his
and his
personality as well.
But it's not that Doctor.
no.
It's not the Doctor when I was a child. I was like, there's the Doctor.
Think of it as it's growing
It's
up
not
with you. Then.
him. And I'm just a bit like, oh,
It's growing up with you, though.
okay.
It's
There's literally, you can say literally nothing that I will be like, oh yeah, I see your point. It's not the 10th Doctor.
Yeah.
It's the 14th Doctor.
no
At the end of the day, it is fundamentally,
13.2.
it is the 14th Doctor.
13.
What is also interesting is that, I mean, this comes from a tabloid newspaper, so, but they published something that was in the paper today. So it's already in print today. And that was like, oh, I feel like they've got information a bit ahead of time, or they're going off leaks as well. But what they put in something was, this obviously must have been about the article about David Tennant coming back. And they put, the Scots actor was the 10th Doctor from 2005 till 2010. But now in a dramatic twist, he will also become the 14th Doctor. And when he changes his face, Sex Education star Ncuti will be the 15th Doctor. And I sort of read that and went, well, I would usually ignore that, but that's kind of in line with a lot of stuff.
Everything's kind of in line. It does feel like we're not getting Capaldi back. We're not getting Matt. We're getting Tennant is the new Doctor for a chunk of time.
For 3 episodes.
Mm.
And then he'll become Ncuti Gatwa at the end.
I'm like, it'd be interesting for him to be the 14th Doctor.
It's going to be fascinating to watch, but there's always going to be a bit of an element. If that's it, there's going to be an element of, it's fun. Not what I wanted, but sure.
Mm.
It's like when you do online shopping and they go, your item wasn't available, but here's another one. It does the same job. And it's like, all right, but it's not the one I wanted.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel a
some
bit with it.
hot dog rolls that are slightly smaller than I expected.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's like,
They'll do the same
it's
job.
a bit like, oh, all right, sure. But it's kind of like, there are things that I'm like, oh, this is so, like today I've been like insane going, this is so exciting. But it'd be more exciting if it was this.
Mm.
That's kind of how I feel. it's the 60th anniversary.
Mm.
Like I said, for the 10th, 20th, 25th, 30th, and 50th, we had multi-Doctor stories, and then it's like for the 60th we're not, and it's a bit like that's the odd one out.
Do we know for sure? We don't anyway. We don't know.
We don't know for sure that there won't be.
That is,
but it's
that is
kind
a
of
leak that's saying what they know now.
And it's also like, if it is, when they're saying a classic companion's coming back, how are they coming back? Why would they come back? What's the context there?
Why would Donna come back?
But it's just like
why would Donna come back if they're like, why? It's like, are they bringing a classic companion back? Because they bring maybe a classic, maybe Paul McGann. You know, it's like, why? Like, what's gonna happen here? And this 3-part special. What does it say again? Does it say all 3-part specials are going to be David Tennant?
David and Catherine across all 3.
Might not be. It's a leak anyway. Like, if this were official, I'd be like, I can, like, it's really, like, it is accurate to the point of being uncanny.
Yeah.
So you can take a lot of it for what it says, but also you don't know for sure. Because they said bits like that. I'm not going to tell you these things because it's going to be spoilery. Because there may be other things. There might be some cameos in there. Tennant might be the focus of it, being this Doctor, but it might. We might see other things involved. He might have to, because who's the only other Doctor who's had an experience with a past face? Capaldi. So maybe there's something there. Maybe there'll be references, that kind of thing. It'd be interesting to see where this is going to go, and how it's going to work. I'm going to go into this very much just expecting Tennant, and it is a bit disappointing, obviously, because it's a primetime for a multi-Doctor story. But I'm not going to hold on to disappointment yet until I see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way away as well, and we could find out things about it, but it's just kind of like, for me, the anniversary is multi-Doctor time.
We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. And I'm excited, and there's still a lot of things kind of pointing towards it, like other things happening. Because although you've got Rachel Talalay, like, we can move on to other things, but obviously you've got Rachel Talalay meeting with Capaldi earlier, and obviously Matt Lucas yesterday. Still, those things are still weird to happen.
They are.
They're not like...
That's the thing.
We have this leak, but a lot of things could be omitted, you know? Like, I've had leaks for things in the past of different things, and it's like, these are incredibly accurate, but that was Act 1. Or they were very accurate because this person was only involved with this very small thing. I mean, hell, you never know. While this is being made, this might be the first act of something like Act, 3-part act. Like, it might be huge. We might switch to, like, this 3-part special might be Tennant. And then you never know. There might be another 3-part special that focuses on a different thing. For Doctor Who, like 9 episodes, that's a series. Imagine a series of specials that is like that thing. You have 3, like, it's not unprecedented with the amount of money they've got now. It's not. And that's less episodes than is in an older, like, Doctor Who series. Could happen. It's just, there's a lot of things that could happen here. And it's interesting to see where it's going to go. And I'm excited to see what is leaked. And obviously, that might not happen. You never know. But it seems like it probably will. I'm excited to see that, but also I'm excited to see maybe there'll be other stuff that happens, because there's a lot here, wiggle room wise, if we're going down this route on what they can do. And this hasn't got me disappointed. This has got me excited, because you wanted it to be Tennant plucked out from the 10th era. I didn't want that, because I feel like that was quite self-contained. And I like this kind of going back and visiting. Some of my favorite stories from like Batman and shit is when you kind of have these characters in grown up, older, different situation. But I love Batman Beyond. I adore it. And it's a very kind of this futuristic, this is in the future, following on, that kind of thing. So for Tennant doing this for me, I quite like this idea. It is annoying in the sense it's not my Doctor. It's not that, which is quite annoying. But I'm interested to see how this is going to play out, and how the 10th Doctor will have changed because of the situation they're in. Same suit, different jacket. How this is going to work out. I just want to see how this is going to play out. You never know. I might watch this special and be like, God, that was really disappointing. What the fuck? You might come away from it thinking, God, that was amazing. We will see. It's interesting. We theorize and we wonder how this will play out, but we don't know for sure until we see it. And I do have a lot of faith in Russell. I do.
But not in the concept, if that makes sense. Like, I imagine
Is it his concept?
I imagine it'll be really, I imagine it'll be written well and it'll be fun to watch, but it'll kind of be like, I kind of don't like what you're doing.
Okay.
So now, this would be the timestamp for if you don't want to hear the leak.
That's the
so
sound of stamp.
we're now going to avoid talking about the leaks, and we're just going to talk about what we have seen at filming
What we
today,
know is
and what that might mean
yes.
in pure speculation, not based on any fact other than what we have seen.
Speculation.
That is, it started by a fascinating picture of David Tennant.
Yes.
And going, it's funny because when we were in our David Tennant episode, we're going, I hope he has his spiky hair. And the first thing I saw, I looked at the picture and went, oh, he's got spiky hair.
Which was great.
And then I went, what the fuck is he wearing?
Yeah. Because in the first picture, it looked very black. Everything looked black. It looked like he was wearing a slightly different suit. Looked like he was wearing a black trench coat, which is a very different style to trench coat he usually wears.
It's
very Captain Jackie.
It's the same. It looks like the same coat. They've painted it in a dark colour, but then it's also shorter.
Yeah.
The other one used to traipse down by his feet.
Yeah.
This one ends about his knee, I think.
Which is a much more practical height. One thing we do know for sure is in that later photo, the coat looked very blue.
Very dark blue.
And it seems like in the lighting, it's going to be kind of a navy dark blue, which is very Captain Jack, actually. So maybe he's stolen that off Jack. He's like, gimme. Just ripped it off his corpse or something.
My theory is that Whittaker does regenerate into Tennant.
Yes.
And then it's kind of like, oh, it's me again. I'll go looking for my clothes because Matt Smith ruined all of them.
That'd be quite funny.
I think he'd just be like, that's vaguely right. That's vaguely right. This will do. And that's kind of what I think he's doing. People have been theorizing.
Maybe he only slightly remembers some of the outfit.
Yeah. I think some like one thing I don't like. I mean, it's fine for people to have these theories, things, but it kind of just annoys me because I was like going,
not for us.
You're grasping at straws and that's not going to happen. Is that the idea that we're going to have a lot of 13th Doctor inspired stuff? And I thought, you are fine to think that. But realistically, looking at this, we are not going to be touching anything 13th Doctor in the Russell T Davies era, either for popularity or simply because it got so bogged down with story that that's not going to happen. Like,
you kind of just have to move on.
Like theorizing, like going, why does in these filming photos, why does the 10th Doctor, why does David Tennant have Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS? People are like. Our friend Daniel said it must be something to do with the timeless child.
It doesn't inherently mean that.
I can't see that happening. I can't imagine them going into the 60th anniversary and all Doctor Who fans. Like I was just before we started recording, I was talking to two people that do not watch Doctor Who anymore, but I was saying they've seen the pictures, they've seen this casting announcement, they're going to watch it. Are we going to bombard them with timeless child? No, we're not. And I saw something that said, like, the reason why Tennant was wearing his dark coat. Do you remember in series 13 when the 13th Doctor had a dark coat? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I thought that was rhetorical.
People were like saying it's going to be a 10th Doctor version of that.
Yeah.
And I was like going, fine to think that theory, but no,
that is
not happening.
These theories are very specific and kind of grasping at straws. It's like looking at something and being like, that color scheme is similar to this thing in the past. Is it the same thing? No, maybe not. It's, to me, it being Jodie's TARDIS tells me that it's after Jodie. That's confirmed. It can't not be. It has to be. So my money is on Jodie maybe regenerating into 10 and going from there. And the dark coat does, I feel like that is him maybe piecing it together from what he's got, because it won't be the same wardrobe. He had a very specific wardrobe in his time.
Yeah.
And maybe something close, or maybe he's pieced together the understuff from inside the TARDIS, but he's grabbed the coat from outside, maybe from somewhere else. He just kind of pieced it on the fly because he's had to. Maybe.
I think it's just a case of like being like, what did I wear? I mean, like, that would do. Oh, I don't really like that. There could even be a moment where, because it is a new incarnation in this version, he could pick up the brown suit, be like, I used to wear that, yeah. Then he picks up the brown coat, and then he picks up the blue coat, and he goes, nah. And he puts the blue one on instead.
As a little reference.
Like, just being like going, I don't like that anymore. I want this one now.
It's kind of, that could be like I'm not this same Doctor, but I do remember being.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing I'm expecting from that.
It's very interesting.
The thing that I would, like I've said before, what I was saying in the David Tennant episode, I really, as much as like the idea that Whittaker regenerates into him and it's not my same Doctor and that kind of thing, I can probably go with that a bit more than the idea that it's a completely alternate universe.
Yes.
I am not vibing with that at all. At all. Like, really.
Because
I want to emphasize this now.
I mean,
at all.
Yeah, I know.
I will, like,
I can hear you.
in the way that if Whittaker regenerates in David Tennant, I'll go, okay, not what I wanted, but sure. If I get to the alternate universe, I'll be like, fuck off. I hate this as much as I hate The Timeless Child.
As much?
That's how I
Like
would
the
feel.
same level?
Honestly, the same
Not like
amount.
not even like a little bit.
I would just be like, no,
like the same.
do not do this. Because it's like, I think it's the kind of thing you can do. And I will roll with it if you did that same series 14. Say there is an episode where we explore something multiversal, but simply just have Ncuti Gatwa and then Ncuti Gatwa from another universe, have him playing both, like Benedict Cumberbatch playing both. That's how you do it.
Don't
do a 60th anniversary special. Tell us Tennant is coming back, and then it actually be not connected to our Doctor in the slightest. I'd be like, no.
The thing about bringing back 10 and making it 14 or something, what that does is it does bring it brings the actor back, but to me it brings back obviously the same Doctor's memories, that kind of thing. We have a connection to him in a lot of ways. Making it alternate universe, we have absolutely zero connection with them whatsoever.
So that was one thing. And then like the day just gradually got more crazy and crazy. Because then the next thing I saw was like people being like, oh yeah, Catherine Tate's got her fringe back. She's clearly looking like Donna. You look and you go, oh my God, that is Donna. She's back.
Donna.
What I think is curious about Donna is that this is likely going to be Donna from today, 2022 Donna. What's weird is that she's supposed to be a millionaire and she kind of just looks like she's dressing as she always had. Then you could say, well, how does a millionaire dress? A fair point. But she looks quite unremarkable.
Do you think she's done something with that money?
That makes sense. It could be a Donna thing where they've just got to blew it all. And it's kind of just be a bit like, I feel like that kind of ends the point.
I mean, she could have given it to charity. I mean, if it is the idea that the Doctor part of Dr. Donna is coming back, would the Doctor part of that use any of that money? Or would they just spend it all on charity, giving it away?
Maybe.
And Donna Noble,
because if that is the idea,
actually a very noble person.
Yeah, if that is the idea we're delving into, because you could say, like, whether this comes from leak or whether this comes from theories or just stuff I've seen all over Twitter today, Yasmin playing a character called Rose. You are not going to call a character Rose if there is not some major thing.
God, there are so many names in the dictionary. You would like it's such a thing to be like Rose.
It's not even like, oh, it could just be a reference. No, there's a plot reason for that. And I think, as many people have pointed out from the casting call and things like that, where it's like they have a white parent and a black parent, it is going to be, I'd say we can safely put our money on it that it's going to be Donna's daughter.
I think so.
And the idea is probably going to be that somewhere deep in Donna's memory, something is reawakening,
and they shouldn't be.
And they should, like you said, she should not be able to remember Rose in the slightest. No. So why would she have this vague memory of being like, I used to know somebody called Rose once, let's name them after her? Why?
Or does she like the name Rose a lot? Why would she? And maybe the Doctor's like, shit.
And why does
I want a scene where Donna's he finds out Donna and like has named a kid Rose, and he's just there in the background like, she's like, whoopsie daisies, I've got to deal with this now.
Yeah. And why are they being drawn together again?
They're always drawn together, but only when Donna is the Dr. Donna. When that prophecy is in play, they're drawn together.
Yeah. The things that really made my day today.
Your day.
When I saw Bernard Cribbins, I went, yes.
One thing about seeing him which I really liked. Okay, number one, he's in a wheelchair. That's probably because he's quite old.
Yes,
that would make sense. Bringing him back and putting him in a wheelchair, you can't do. Obviously, it again leads into the fact you can't do that if it's beforehand. That wouldn't make sense because he was walking him out. Fine, so that's another thing there. The third thing now. In one of the things where you see him, it looks like a scene. Like it looks like they're rehearsing a scene. He's reset.
Did I send you the take
where he runs?
No, because I sent you the one, the practice one. I went, oh look, it's David Tennant with his wheelchair. But did I send you the follow up?
No.
The follow up, I
thought I had.
the follow. It will take a while to find it. But the follow up was them actually then filming that scene. So that thing that I saw wasn't just David Tennant being nice wheeling him around.
Yeah, no, it looked
was
like
a
scene.
rehearsal. Then what I then saw was them filming. And what the scene is it begins with it's the Doctor, Donna, and Wilf. The Doctor is pushing Wilf in the wheelchair. There's a load of screams. A director or somebody goes, bang! And then they all, but that was loud on the audio.
That was loud for me.
Someone on one of the directors just goes bang, and then the Doctor kind of like says something to Donna, and then he wheels Wilf into the TARDIS, and they all go into the TARDIS, all of them. So Donna is going into the TARDIS.
Yes.
So that was the full scene.
So Donna has to be. It all has to. Donna has to have her memory back, otherwise this can't work. But that's. It, in the rehearsal, it did look very much like kind of tense emotions in a way, like not emotions, emotives. The way he acted, it seemed very excitable, running it seemed very skip and a hop and a jump kind of thing, which is interesting. That's cool. And that's why is Wilf being dragged on this? Why will Wilf always wanted to kind of go to?
What was the bang?
What was the bang?
What was the bang?
Why
are people screaming? Bang! It's got to be an alien invasion is happening. Like the end of time, an alien invasion is happening. Brought Donna's memories back. Whatever that's created. Right, let's say this. I'm on to here's my theory now. Okay. I'm forming a theory.
Okay.
Point A.
You'll probably be right.
Point A of the universe is Jodie Whittaker is getting ready to regenerate. She's glowing orange. Oh my God, it's time to regenerate.
Green.
She's glowing. We're all think it's time to regenerate. At this exact same moment, somewhere else in the universe, somewhere else on the same planet, wherever, there's an alien invasion happening. Pew, 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 pew. That alien invasion, Donna has stepped out of wherever she is. She has seen this alien invasion. Her mind has gone, wow. And do you remember in the end of time when it sent out that yellow thing? That yellow thing happens the exact moment Jodie Whittaker regenerates. The Dr. Donna regeneration energies get combined and confused in the way that when she touched the hand and it put the Doctor's energy into her, she's now putting the Doctor's energy into the Doctor. She regenerates and goes, I know that hand. Catches her reflection. Oh my God.
Goosebumps.
That's what I think is going to happen.
And
then
Tennant's probably like, what the fuck?
Probably he will off do his thing, going, what was my outfit? It was about this.
I like to think he doesn't know he's Tennant again. He's just walking around. He's like, God, similar? Checks.
Goes up to the mirror and goes, hold on. That kind of thing. That's not right. I've seen that face. That's what I think is going to happen. Something like that. Obviously better written than that.
There will be better sound effects also.
Something like that where also, and then I imagine what could even happen is that happens. The Doctor's like, what the hell is this all about? Does the whole costume thing that I said, I do still think that's going to happen. Pulls the lever, steps out, and is where Donna is.
Yes, it's
already
like fucking hell.
Where this probably set is today. In Camden.
I like that. And I think that makes sense. That's what I think
could happen.
I think that makes sense, actually, because it's, again, that Dr. Donna thing. Like that, yeah.
And then that it gives a reason for bringing Donna back rather than just being like, oh, we're bumping into each other. That kind of thing. Yes, I do still want it to become more big scale than just
but that'd be a
going
good
back
kickstart.
to Doctor. But it's a good way of kicking it into motion.
Because you could also have it kick into motion and be like, Tennant's face is back. But it's not a case of kind of bringing that one face forward. It's a case of kind of bringing that future regenerations forward in a way. So he's now Tennant, Matt, Capaldi. His body clock is reset in a way to regenerating through them. So imagine he gets probably just killed a lot. Imagine, bang, fuck, oh my God. Like,
that's what I think is gonna. That's
also in my mind. Tennant was just shot in an alley,
like the Seventh Doctor.
Yes. Very kind of grand scale.
Like, he's like, oh, not this again.
I really don't want to go this time. Weeps.
That's what something made me laugh. It was like saying David Tennant said, I don't want to go. And then when he did Day Doctor, I don't want to go. He was going, yeah, you're right. He was right. He really hasn't gone, has he? He's never left.
That'd be
There's that kind of thing.
it'd be quite beautiful actually if he does end it by saying something along the lines of it was good to be back, or like do you know what I mean? Like not like I think
I'd quite like I'm ready to go.
Yeah, like a close, like a
Something like
proper
that.
like this will be his
I'm
last
done
time.
now. Yeah.
Cut
Until
to
till he comes back a few years later as
he's
the,
in a wheelchair.
as the proper 10th Doctor this time. Maybe that's why we're not getting it. Really, maybe Russell. I've never known his opinions on multi-Doctor stories. Maybe he thinks it's stupid when they look years older. So maybe he's thinking, I don't want to do that.
Unlikely though, but also likely. We don't know how this is going to play out. Oh, I'm excited.
The other thing that, as we wrap up, because
gimme.
obviously this is going on for quite a while,
Yeah.
but obviously the other thing that really just sent me into a frenzy today is Rachel Talalay directing. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was saying to you, like, that's not even like Russell's going, who was good in my era, I'll bring them back. And it's not Russell going, who have we got currently working for us, let's keep them. He's specifically plucking somebody out from the Moffat era and going, I'm having them. Which is nice because as fans, we all recognise Rachel Talalay as the greatest director to have ever worked on Doctor Who.
Give us some other episodes.
Like when we did Heaven Sent, we spent 10 minutes talking about shots in it. God. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you,
And
Rachel.
it's like, it is literally, I think I said when Russell came back, wouldn't
You
it be
definitely
great
mentioned it.
to have Russell writing, Rachel directing? That'd be amazing. And they've done it.
Mm.
That's insane to me. That's not just like fans being like, oh, this would be amazing, but it's actually happened.
It is a huge thing, and it's this very much like Russell has gone through the entire Doctor Who catalogue and been like, why? What worked here? Why? The director, let's get her back. Is she available? Great. It's very much, this feels a lot like we're getting what's best of Doctor Who for the sake of it being good for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Rather than it feeling just random. It feels like why would Rachel Talalay be coming back? I doubt she'd come back if it wasn't well written. Because she clearly cares about the show to be able to make, like, you can't make something great without giving a shit. So I think she does care. And also, to me, this does open the door of, why the fuck was she having tea with Matt Lucas?
Now that's the thing. As much as I'm saying, this doesn't seem to open the door for Multi-Doctor or any other Doctors coming back. There's still the question.
It's a big question.
You are making Doctor Who one of the biggest shows on the planet. It's a huge sci-fi property. The amount of planning that must go into it must be insane.
You, like the day before, you are not
The day
relaxing.
before, you are not just hanging out with Matt Lucas. You are going through your shot lists and your call sheets, and you're going through.
You're maybe eating a ready meal by yourself while reading shit.
And pulling your hair out.
Yes.
There is no way you're just like, nah, I'm doing Doctor Who tomorrow. Because also, obviously she's in London filming this. There's not the Cardiff rumour. Matt Lucas would probably live in London. But why would you meet up? If I knew I was filming tomorrow and Matt Lucas was like going, oh, it's great to have a catch up, I would not schedule that day.
No
as
way.
being like, I'm free that day.
You schedule the week after. Like, you wouldn't not, like, neither of you were going to die in that time. Well, it's unlikely. But you'd schedule
You'd
it
say,
for later.
I said, that's not the best time for me. I'm working on a project.
Maybe
Do you
a
mind
quick
doing
phone
it?
call or a text.
You would not meet up. That's
no way.
weird.
It
and
is.
especially after the photo with Peter Capaldi was allegedly in Wales because she was in Cardiff and then posted a photo with Capaldi shortly after. Why was she in Wales with Capaldi? Why was she with Matt Lucas at the same time she was filming Doctor Who?
I can maybe put down to them being friends because they have worked together closely a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. But why were they there?
Yes. It's like if they met up in Barbados holiday, but it's like it's a very specific point in the universe. Like on our planet, there's a very important place for Doctor Who. That's Cardiff. It's very specific. Why are they both there at the same time? And then the Matt Lucas thing is very much like, it's the day before shooting. Why the hell are you two seeing each other? I doubt you're that close friends. It's possible, but it's unlikely considering.
Are they close enough that she's willing to meet him the day before returning to Doctor Who?
Like, it's huge. And like, it's not just like it's a huge thing for her career as well. Like, if you'd be taking it so seriously, and I don't doubt she would be. So it's like, why meet up with Matt Lucas?
I'm going to end that there for now.
Yes.
I say for now because I imagine we'll probably be seeing more stuff soon. Whether or not we get an announcement is one thing, but I think filming photos are going to get more elaborate because apparently security were being really tight today and were really shouting at people if they were filming. But we've had a lot of photos. So if clearly people can get that through, then if they start filming bigger places, we're going to see more.
Yeah, you
when
can't,
they film on that street, that shooting we discussed, I think, I don't know, I can't remember if we discussed it on a podcast, if we discussed it in person.
Yeah.
But when they're allegedly filming on this street, where they say there's going to be big explosions and soldiers, if it's going to be unit back or something, you're not telling me every single person in that street is not going to be pointing their phones out their window. And you're not telling me there's going to be some guy monitoring everybody to make sure everybody's filming. No, we're going to see so much footage of that.
The security can try their best, but it's impossible to stop anyone from, like, everyone from filming. You can't. You can't.
It's not going to happen. We're going to see so much footage.
Like there was someone like filming from inside their own house. Is a security guy going to go break in and be like, hands off? No.
Yeah, exactly. So
do you want to go to London?
that was in Cardiff. That filming. We don't know where they're going to pop up. Yeah, we've got some very exciting and interesting things to see coming soon. Some things that could be disappointing, some things that could be absolutely insanely
we could be
exciting.
theorizing, leaks could be wrong, everything. This is a discussion of what if, and it could all be wrong, it could all be right. We could be crying our eyes out over disappointment, or we could be crying our eyes out over happiness. We do not know, but we shall see. It's all very exciting either way.
So until then,
thank you very much for listening, everyone,
and goodbye.
See ya.